Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 just got a bunch of news with some exclusive Chapter 3 updates from the developers, new rumors about a Chapter 3 trailer announcement coming as early as this week, a bunch of progress updates on the chapter's development, and even a potential final release date for the chapter. So over the past few weeks, the Poppy developers have been extremely active with new updates. Even during this past Thanksgiving, they gave us a festive Thanksgiving Smiling Critters poster, and another new post reading, "Now that we've been introduced to the entire Smiling Critters crew, who is your favorite? What do you hope is coming for the Smiling Critters crew in Poppy Playtime Chapter 3? Once again, anticipating more stuff coming soon, as I talk about later in this video. But some more interesting news is that with the launch of the Chapter 3 Steam page earlier this month, we can now check all of the live Chapter 3 progress updates on steamdb.com, which gives updates anytime the developers have made a change to the chapter in development over the past few weeks, showing that multiple times a day since launch, Chapter 3 has been getting a bunch of mini updates to the game. And while we can't see what they're changing in the game itself, we can see that they've updated things like the tags or descriptors for the Steam page of the chapter, adding keywords like mystery, dark, and even violent in the game, which, while relatively minor, plays into the idea that Chapter 3 is going to be a lot darker, and they are even marketing it as a violent game. So this all just makes me more excited, and I definitely keep your eyes peeled for mini updates on this page. In the meantime, I got some exclusive Chapter 3 updates, as recently the devs have been holding some podcasts in their Discord server over the past couple weeks, letting people join and ask some questions about the chapter. And while obviously they couldn't leak anything like release dates, I got the chance to talk with the devs where I asked them a couple questions about Chapter 3. The first question I had was that in previous videos, I've talked about this clock in the Smiling Critters cartoon that ticks from 10:05 to 10:06, referencing experiment 1006, the prototype, but what exactly does it mean? Is it a fun Easter egg, or does it confirm the prototype is coming in Chapter 3? Well, I asked them, and while I wasn't expecting much, they very specifically told me that the actual ticking of the time from 10:05 to 10:06 is important, meaning that for some reason the clock moving from 1005 to 1006 is apparently important to the chapter, but how? Well, my theory is that this clock could represent some type of progression with the experiments, and how something must have happened between experiment 1005 and the famous experiment 1006 that gave him superhumanly smart abilities.
Coordination and cooperation is evidently within his skill set.
Who eventually used his unique intelligence against the factory. Symbolized here when the clock goes to 10:06 right before everything goes haywire with the Smiling Critters. So this could be a hint that not only will the prototype be in Chapter 3, but also whoever experiment 1005 is. I don't know, comment down below what you think it could mean. Another important question I also got to ask the devs was regarding the 3 VHS tapes we got at the beginning of the year of Huggy Wuggy, Kissy, Missy, and Bron the Dinosaur, all of which are extremely cryptic and hard to break down, but what are these for, and are they meant to tease Chapter 3's upcoming characters? And when I asked them, they first told me no, these aren't specifically for Chapter 3, so they're not confirmations Huggy or Kissy or Bron are going to be in the chapter, unfortunately. But they did suspiciously tell me that the lore inside of them was somehow going to be linked to Chapter 3, meaning it might be a good idea to start re-looking at these VHS tapes over the next couple weeks, especially since in the Bron tape we can see characters like Thomas Clark literally being turned into a Bron doll and essentially dying, who was later revealed in the Chapter 3 ARG to actually be a doctor who worked in the play care. So clearly these tapes are very important. More specifically, the Kissy Missy one, restricted relocation. As recently, along with all of the Chapter 3 updates we've been getting this past month, the developers randomly reposted the Kissy VHS tape, but this time onto YouTube Shorts out of nowhere. And they are yet to post the other 2 VHS tapes for some reason. And I personally think this is the devs trying to tell us to focus on the Kissy tape, since in previous videos the devs already basically confirmed she is going to be one of the returning characters in Chapter 3, and in this tape she literally gets captured and saved by Catnap while being sent out to none other than the play care. So clearly this tape matters to the story, and the devs are pointing a bunch of arrows towards it, so I would definitely pay attention. Sidetracking a little bit though, the creator of the Smiling Critters cartoon and animation, Amber, one of the devs at Mob Entertainment, recently ended up creating a 9th unofficial Smiling Critter named named Sweet Sheep for myself based on me and my channel. And the design is super cool. It's scented like sage, and it looks like it could actually be inside of the game. And speaking of which, now that we have this design, we need this character to show up in Chapter 3 as an Easter egg. So now I'm calling on you guys to get Sweet Sheep into the chapter. Make him your profile picture, tweet about him, make fan art of the sheep, do whatever it takes to let the devs know about this character because he needs to be in Chapter 3. Make him like a rejected toy or something. But jokes aside, the biggest question and main topic of this video that people have been wondering about for literally years now is when will we finally be getting a Chapter 3 gameplay trailer? It's been 18 months since the last chapter and we still don't have a trailer, so where is it? And well, to keep things simple, if you didn't know, anytime the developers drop a big trailer for something, whether that be Project Playtime, Chapter 2, and even Chapter 3's last teaser trailer, they will usually make a separate announcement for the release date of the trailer 5 to 7 days before it comes out. So before we can even speculate on the trailer, we are still waiting for that release date announcement. And there has recently been a lot of speculation around when this trailer announcement could come. Some people think it'll be on the 28th, the day this video releases, or at the very least, I and many others think that the trailer announcement is probably going to be around this week just because we are running out of time. And also with the Chapter 3 ARG being seemingly done, the Steam page being done, and pretty much everything else Chapter 3 related done, the only thing that we are waiting on now is this trailer announcement. So whenever we get our next Chapter 3 update, it's probably going to be the release date of the trailer. And that's great because honestly, I'm getting tired of waiting for updates on the trailer. And as of right now, all the developers have confirmed to us about the trailer is that one, the release date for Chapter 3 will be revealed after it comes out, obviously, and that the trailer will have a mix of gameplay and actual animation similar to Chapter 2's that had shots of Mommy Longlegs in between the trailer, which is most likely why the trailer is taking so long. But hopefully by the time you're watching this video, or at least in the next couple days, we can get some type of update. On the bright side, I think I finally figured out a general estimation of when the chapter will finally release. As looking at the month of December, the release month for Chapter 3, we know the game probably won't release this week or next week since we still don't have a trailer, and probably not even the following week either because games like Help 1 and 2 are going to be dropping and they probably don't want to interfere with that launch. Plus, of course, they wouldn't want to do it the week of Christmas or New Year's because there won't be anybody in office to actually launch the game, which only leaves us with 1 week right here. And very interestingly, the 21st is actually the very first day of winter, which going back to the Chapter 3 teaser trailer 2, they specifically said that the game was going to release in winter of 2023, which I originally thought just meant at the end of 2023, but maybe they literally meant when the winter season starts. Meaning, assuming this date estimate from back then is accurate and all of my predictions are true, that only leaves 2 potential days for the chapter to drop: December 21st and December 22nd. In fact, I'm extremely confident that this is when Chapter 3 is going to release because it works absolutely perfectly for the developers. As it's still going to be before Christmas, it'll be on a weekday so they will still be working, and it's when most people in school will be on Christmas break and will have all the time in the world to play it when it comes out. And so to be honest, while I'm not great with predictions, this is when I really think the chapter will end up finally releasing. And the trailer will of course drop anytime between now and then. But let me know when you think it will release in the comments below.